Hello everyone, our next guest is Blake Parsons, founder of Ultimacha. He used to be a physics professor who formulated his own matcha, and now he wants to share it with the world. And we talk about him opening up the CPG brand and what it's like to be a matchapreneur. I really enjoyed this conversation because he taught me a lot about matcha that I didn't even know. And so I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Vibes, y'all. Let's go. We have Blake Parsons from Ultimacha. So before we talk about matcha, who were you before this?
Many things, I guess. Probably the thing I did the longest was teaching. I used to teach physics over at Santa Barbara High, and it's kind of when I came up with the Ultimacha idea. Just looking for something that to help me out.
Wow. Well, let me get this straight. So you were a teacher. What grade was that? What's the...
Uh, it was kind of all grades. It was science. I taught physics. It was supposed to be for freshmen, which is kind of a stupid idea, but people would fail it and stuff. So I had all grade levels in high school.
Nice. I mean, were you happy with the job?
I liked the teaching. I'm not a disciplinarian. Like, I'm a chill dude, and like you have to, I mean, there are some people that, like some teachers that can be really chill and succeed, but I feel like some of the best ones are pretty rough, and like, these are the rules and you have to follow the rules, and like I'm just not like that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
I mean, I can
rule
tell
breaker
you.
myself. Right?
Yeah, you're like a rock star because I see a guitar in the background. Is that an old cassette behind you? And I see drums a little bit. Do you have drums
Oh
too?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. This is my office slash music studio.
yeah, you even have is that a sound machine on your left side or right side?
Yeah, the
Soundboard?
mixer. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, totally.
Wow. So
I got yeah.
you're everything, man. So let's talk matcha, man. Like what
Cool.
made you think about this? Of course, you're not a disciplinarian. You're teaching physics. So physics and matcha is I mean, help us get to the connection there of matcha and physics and what your love is for matcha. Like take me all the way back.
Totally. So, like all the way back, my first year teaching, you have to come up with all the lesson plans and stuff. And like I was working, 60-hour weeks. I was advising the robotics club and stuff, and that's multiple hours. It's not like a short club. They need a lot of time for that. So, yeah, super short on time. I was not eating the best. I was drinking a whole bunch of coffee, and like you drink coffee in the morning and then you crash, and then you have to drink coffee in the afternoon, and then it messes with your sleep, and then just like a vicious cycle. And yeah, I was just looking for something like healthier and something that like I wouldn't, something caffeinated but not too caffeinated. And so I found matcha, and it's a total game changer. I would have some in the morning, and then like, since it's more gradual, it has L-theanine in it. Like all matcha has L-theanine. It's a naturally occurring source, and it kind of takes away the spike in the crash, so it's like more gradual and nice. And then I didn't have to have any in the afternoon because I didn't have the crash, and then also like I wanted something that would, like, since I wasn't eating the best, I was single at the time, and not cooking a lot, eating out a whole bunch, and so I wanted something with fiber too, because I mean fiber is super important, and like most Americans don't get enough fiber, and so I added some of that to it, and then I wanted something that would boost my immunity because the kids are gross, and I couldn't really find a product that kind of had like all the stuff that I wanted, so I just started formulating for myself. After about like 10 years, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Like I should share this with the world. I mean, it's like helping me out, so probably help other people out too.
It took you 10 years to quit the job of teaching and then or were
No, I
you
mean
like or to
that
make the
that was
decision
just
to launch.
that was well, I guess before I decided to launch, like I never like I didn't when I was making it, like I wasn't thinking I was going to sell it. Like that wasn't the goal, was to like sell it. I mean, I just wanted it for myself. So I was just like tinkering and like formulating just for my own, just for me. So it's like really tailored for me. But I figure a lot of people have similar lifestyle, very busy, want some caffeine, but everybody needs fiber, kind of. So I was like, yeah, it's just really good. So I want to share it with the world.
That's crazy. I always wondered how my teachers, have all that energy. Is there like a coffee room somewhere? Because I never really,
Totally.
when I was like in high school, I was like, dude, yeah, we went in the cafeteria. Where do you guys go and have this coffee or like, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember a lot of teachers just having coffee machines in their classroom. I know, and like while I've been, so it took me about 3 years from when I decided that like I wanted to sell it to like it actually hitting the market, and which was about 2 years longer than I thought it was going to take. And I was substitute teaching during that time, and other stuff, beer tending, and had a couple other kind of jobs that would allow me some time to work on it. And yeah, when I was substitute teaching, like yeah, a lot of teachers have their coffee machines, and that was the pods, just super easy. They can just have like one cup, but um, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, as a physics teacher, did you think it had? I mean, those little pods. I always feel like it's a ripoff because I never get the caffeine rush that I expect from it. So, I mean, I don't know if that works, but I'm sure you looked into that and you did your research. So,
I
how
don't
is
think that
matcha different?
when I was teaching, I don't even think the pods existed. But also the
Oh,
pods, like you get all like the plastic waste and stuff like that. And
how is matcha different from like the caffeine? Because you mentioned it a couple of times. There was a
oh yeah,
crash, and then you crash with the coffee the coffee caffeine or whatever's in the coffee, and then that matcha is better, and you mix it with fiber, and we need fiber and like cleaner caffeine. So yeah, tell me about like how did you figure that out or that combo to come up with this
totally.
Ultimacha? I have it right in front of me. Look, it's
Yep. Oh
right here.
yeah.
Ultimacha.
Yep.
I can't wait
Um.
to try it, by the
Oh
way.
yeah.
Thank
Oh yeah.
thank you for bringing me the samples. Just so look at this. I don't
Oh
know
for
if you've
sure.
yeah.
And it's
So
a Triton plastic, so it's not going to break. It's I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to try to run it over with my car. I feel like it might actually might survive, but we'll see. Well,
nice.
follow me on social. Maybe I'll run it over, see if it works. But
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, the cool thing about matcha is that it has this naturally occurring amino acid called L-theanine, and that yeah, it works. It's synergistic with the caffeine to make it like take away the spike and crash. Yeah, to make it nice and smooth. I call it smooth energy. And
I'm
then
looking at it right now where the what was that? I can't even pronounce it. What were you saying?
L-theanine. Now it's not actually like on the label because it's just
Okay.
naturally occurring in the matcha leaves. And then oh yeah, when I first started, I just got cheap matcha, and like there's a lot of cheap matcha out there. Like Amazon is like full of tons of cheap matcha. And so matcha itself needs to be shade grown, and you pick only like the little tiny leaves that are grown in the shade. And that's why if you see like a good matcha, it's like a lot lighter green, and like a lower quality matcha is a darker green. And like if you're walking around taking a hike and you like look at a plant, like you'll see like the little leaves, like the fresh leaves are like always like a brighter green, like the older leaves have like a darker color. So that's how you know like the fresh leaves that got that bright color, and so the good matcha's got that bright color. And also the shade growing it since the plants are deprived of light, the leaves grow thinner and wider to try to collect more of that light, and so it creates more chlorophyll, and it also creates more L-theanine, which is that good ingredient that we like in the matcha. And then yeah, so it's yeah, and then also the shade growing it makes it less bitter. So if you have like regular green tea, it's going to be a lot more bitter than like a nice matcha will be too. So since it's less bitter, you can grind it up and then you consume the whole leaf, and you get all the good stuff that's in green tea, but you get even more of that. So you get more caffeine, you get more L-theanine, you get more chlorophyll, more antioxidants, and just really good for you.
Well, no, you said something really interesting. You said all the matcha out there. I mean, not all matcha is created equal. I mean, you're talking about Amazon, and I mean, that's
Yeah.
interesting. This is the first time I've actually ever heard of it. And you went like first principles. Like you actually took me to the woods, and I saw, like I could picture, big green leaves that have so much sun in them, and then I could see the little guys like in the And I didn't even think about that. So like, why? I mean, the quality that's out there that we consume, and we're all not matcha experts. So when we're going to go get like a matcha at Starbucks or a matcha at one of the boutique coffee shops that we're paying, $8 to $10 for, are we
Totally.
really getting the matcha that we are paying for?
Yeah. So possibly not. I mean, some like boutique, like a nice, really boutique, you can probably trust them. But definitely not all of them. They like the ranges of matcha are vast. Like my supplier has probably like 12 different grades. I get like the top grade A matcha. Like the price difference is huge. So if you go down like 2 grades, it really makes, but it makes a huge difference in the taste. And like my customers, like I want the best tasting matcha I can get. And like another thing, like so like you'll see the word ceremonial used a lot with matcha, and
Yeah.
that is unregulated. So it's not like other regulated food things like champagne or parmesan or um, there's some other ones, but it's it's not regulated. So if you can get like Chinese, not that China doesn't make some good teas, they make some good teas, but like you can get like crappy Chinese green tea with like seeds and stems, and if you grind it into a fine powder, like it's a green powder. Like you might not know, but it'll taste like crap. And but you can put ceremonial grade matcha on that, and nobody will know the difference until they buy it and try it. And a lot of people actually don't even know like what good matcha tastes like, which is like I do samples, right? So I'm doing farmers markets right now, and I have so many people that are like, I usually don't like matcha, but I really like your matcha. It's like, yeah, because it's like really good, like real ceremonial grade matcha. And yeah, so it's really interesting, like because a lot of people have kind of like a bad vibe with matcha, and that's because they've had crappy matcha, and it tastes totally different.
Ceremonial, because that's what I feel like it's the gold standard, or that's what we're being sold on, and it's very
Yeah,
important. I think it's very important for as a consumer to know, like, where does this stuff really come from, and who is the person behind that product. And you said there's a lot to unpack when you said, oh, just because someone says ceremonial, that's automatically like, let me charge $8 to $10 because it says ceremonial, or it's what we know, and that's what we're paying for. But after
hmm
this, you really flipped my curiosity to going, oh shoot, have I been paying? Have I been ripped off, or all of us consumers been ripped off with this ceremonial gold standard? So
Well, I mean,
yeah, going
if you
yeah.
if you like what you're drinking, if it tastes good to you, then I mean, you're all right. But just like once you try like a really good matcha, once you try that Starbucks matcha, you're gonna be like, maybe it's not as good as I want. But
They load that up with so much sugar.
oh, totally. And that's another thing. Yeah. So it's like when you get the good matcha, like you don't need a bunch of sugar or like flavors. You don't need to add vanilla to cover it up, the bitterness or anything. Um, yeah, when you get the good stuff, it's good by itself. Like you don't even need to make a latte out of it because it's just. I mean, like the true matcha heads like are like, oh, latte. That's to cover up bad matcha, but I still like to add a little milk to it. But
Yeah, because the normal way you just put hot water or cold water. Does yours need hot water or cold water for it to,
oh,
like, what's the
that's
best way to prepare it?
great question. So, like regular matcha you're supposed to use like a little whisk, a specially made whisk, bamboo, to break up the clumps. It's very clumpy, so you use a little bit of hot water and you mix it up, uh, and then, but with Ultimacha, you don't need that little whisk. You with the extra fibers in it, it kind of pre-suspends the particles, so that you can just shake it up real quick and easy. That's why, yeah, I give you a shaker bottle when you buy a jar if you want it. That way you can just go ahead and just make it quick and easy. Because yeah, when I was teaching, like I didn't have time like in the classroom to like get a little whisk out and like clean it and all that stuff. So I wanted something quick and easy, and I found that with the fiber that yeah it yeah kind of yeah pre-separates the particles so you can shake it up quick and easy.
I actually really am interested in matcha because I drink a lot of matcha and I always think I'm paying for the best one. So I can't wait to taste this matcha. And how did you like? Of course, let's stop. I don't want to keep talking about the matcha because I'm selfishly wanting to know more about the matcha. But I wanted to ask you where did you actually think this could be a business, and what at what point was it like, okay, I could quit my teaching job and just run a business?
So it was a gradual thing, right? So like I started into the business like I just dipping my toes like well I, okay well honestly first I Ultimacha was actually a pivot. I originally had quit teaching at the time, and I was actually doing some property management stuff because I was learning how to code apps and stuff, and I thought I was going to code apps. Um, and so I was doing some property management while I was doing school for that, and then I quit that, and I was gonna actually make some hair products for my wife because like I was like the pink tax, right? Like all the women's stuff is like way overpriced, and it's like I'm like looking at the ingredients. I'm like I could mix something up like this. So I tried, and I was like I had some kind of early success on some things that I was mixing, and but then I realized it was going to take a lot longer, and like I had already quit my job, well my one of my jobs, and I was like, oh, this is gonna take too long. And I was like, but then I was like drinking a matcha. I was like, I have this stuff that I've been like working on for 10 years, and it's really good. Like, I should probably sell this. Like, it's already like practically done, or so I thought. And so I pivoted, and I was like, well, I'm gonna do the matcha. And then little did I know that like, I mean, it was a lot more than just putting it in a in a jar and slapping a label on it. Um, but yeah, it took me like from that point, it took me another 3 years to get it to market. But I was working like 2, 3 jobs to do that. So yeah, it's quite a process trying to get a product to the market for sure.
Oh, I bet. I mean, there's a lot of I run a trucking company and a trucking brokerage, but they're two different things, right? Brokerage is it's pretty simple, but when you run and you have the trucks, you're actually responsible to the public, and what that there's a lot of compliance and safety, and so I'm sure when this is for consumption, there has got to be so much work into getting this to market. Is there, what was the hardest part about starting this business? Because you went from I'm going to make some, products for my wife, and then you completely just had you had the treasure in front of you this whole time. But like, what did it take to get this treasure? Like, okay, how am I going to sell it, and then and make sure that it's compliant and it's safe for consumption to share with the world?
Yeah, so I mean, the label was the label took me like 6 months. And I think I was listening to one of your other shows about the woman, the Skrilla, Skrilla,
Cirilla. Yes.
Cirilla. Yeah, she
Sarah.
was talking
Yeah.
about how like she's rebranding and it's taken a really long time. And yeah, the label, like I worked with a graphic designer, and we got this label. It was looking very nice. And then I was like, okay, so now I need to find a consultant, like an FDA consultant, because it needs to be like FDA compliant, right? So I paid thousands of dollars to this consultant, and they just ripped it apart. And I was like devastated. I was like, oh no, like you have to change this, you can't have that. So basically, it was like back to the drawing board, and yeah. So that was the label was pretty tough. And honestly, like the packaging, like I originally used like glass jars. I got a bunch of different glass jars, and then like I realized that the sun like bleaches, or like light, even if it's not in direct light, like the light bleaches the matcha like a lot quicker than you would think. So then I got the amber glass, and like just trying to find a supplier for that was pretty difficult. I had the custom lids made. Um, But yeah, I mean, packaging was, it took a lot longer than I thought it would. Um,
Wow. I mean, I think that's what a lot of founders don't understand, right? Like all the things that you have to like, I mean, go through, for example, just like the label and how many thousands of dollars and going back to ground zero or taking, like you said, you're devastated, you've spent all this time and you love that label. And then you're like, okay, I guess it's not compliant or whatever. And it's a lot of money. It's a lot of trial and error. I mean, did
yeah,
you ever say, oh shoot, should I go back to teaching? or,
many,
or
many
actually
times.
it is tough. Like you learn more by doing, I feel. And
Totally.
one of the things that I like about your story is, I think on our first conversation, you said I could always go back to teaching. And to me that stood out because I was thinking about it and I go, I feel the same way, being 22 years as an entrepreneur. I goes, well, I could always get a job, right? Whatever that is. But there's something to the regret part of, I don't want to regret this. Was that
Totally.
even something that you thought about? Because I'm hyper aware of that now. If I want to jump into action, I tell myself, dude, go back or go 10 years from now, 20 years from now. And that person that's going to talk to you is going to tell you, like, you should have done it. So whatever
Yeah.
that is, you better jump into action now. And so, like, was that something that you talked yourself into running this business? I mean, let's forget about all the struggles and all the challenges that you're going to go through, but is that something you think about
Oh,
when you
totally. And
started this? Yeah.
yeah, and like there's like study after study showing like the thing like when people get interviewed, like older people, they're like, "What's something like that you regret, or like what's your biggest regret?" And it's like not like things that they did. It's always like things that they didn't do, right? So
Ooh.
it's yeah, and it's taken. I mean, to take the leap to start a business, I think you got to be a little crazy. And like I know my family and my friends thought I was crazy for a very long time. Like I was substitute teaching for like in beer tending for 3 years while like I'm working on a matcha. Like it's like, dude, Blake, get a job, man. Like it's like no, like you see the vision, like I can know it can work, and you just gotta like keep driving, keep going, um, even when everybody thinks you're crazy.
Wow. That's deep because, there's a lot of friends and you would think the people closest to you would be your biggest supporters, but they're like almost the biggest haters, right? Like, go get a real
Right.
job.
Well,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
not
How did that
necessarily. I
make
mean,
you feel?
most of my friends, I mean, they didn't really say that. Like, I'm kind
Yeah.
of projecting, I guess. But like,
Yeah.
I can kind of see it in their face. But like, no, I mean, most of my friends, pretty much all my friends are very supportive, and luckily, my family has been pretty supportive as well. Definitely supportive, and my wife, like, like we, like I said, like we're working multiple like small part-time jobs, so like it took a big hit on our lifestyle, right? I mean, to be like financially strapped while we're getting this off the ground, and we're just like getting to a good place right now. So having support is super important. Um, I took a class through the women's economic ventures. They let guys in, um, and we had some guest speakers, and they had a candle business, like a pretty big, like successful one, and they were saying how their parents still don't even know they have a business because like they would not accept that like they're not don't have a secure job, and so like they like hid it and like are continually like hiding it from their parents. So I just feel very lucky that I have had a lot of people in my life that were supportive, even if they think I'm crazy, they're still like supportive.
It's very important to have your wife, especially because, you have to go home to her every night and tell her about all of your problems, right? I'm sure you
Right.
didn't have this many problems when you were a teacher. Like,
Yeah.
or if you probably ran into a student like me who is pretty, well, you wouldn't have because I was never in school. I was surfing. Um, but I mean, it has a different stress. Like, how have you been able to manage all that stress with running your business? Because how many farmers markets do you go to a week now?
Right now I got 3 a week. I'm going to get a couple more, but I'm looking to hire somebody now, to take over some of those. Like the Malibu one. Like I live in Santa Barbara. It starts at 9 in the morning. I have to leave my house at like 5:30 in the morning on a Sunday. So it basically screws my whole weekend. But gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, that's how I met you, right? Was through a contact at that market. So and the stress. One thing great for stress. Everybody needs to know about it. Is rhodiola rosea. It my second year of teaching, I was going to basically quit halfway through the year because I was just super stressed out. And back in college, like I was working on an anti-hangover tea, and I was like looking into herbs that might help with hangovers, and one of them was rhodiola, and I just used the root. So it didn't really do much, but then I was like gonna quit my job. I was so stressed out. So I've looked back into that because it was for stress, and I took the extract, and total game changer. It's because the kids are like always trying to press your buttons and stuff, and it's just a shield. Like they would like try to mess with me, but it's just like blink, 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 like just wouldn't like get to my nerves. And it would help me like teach too, because I'm like more clear if I'm not like really stressed out, and like, so it was a total game changer. I still like if I know I'm gonna have a stressful day, I take rhodiola. It's great.
How do you spell it? I wanna actually look it up right now.
Totally. RHO
RHO
DIOLA. Rhodiola.
Wow. Wow. So
I get the Now brand, but in the future, like I'm gonna try to do like a private label of it, because as you can tell, I'm a big fan of that also. And that's one thing. So like there's some other superfood powders out there that add adaptogens, including this one. But I've told a lot of friends about it and stuff, and it works acutely, so you don't need to take it like every day for a long time for it to work. And so if you take it every day, it can kind of lose efficacy. So like the superfood powders that have it like where you're taking it every day, I feel like that's not the best way to do it. So, but
yeah, I mean, I see
different.
I see that in the natural product space a lot. It's an adaptogen, like a tea that's an adaptogen, and usually it has like lion's mane and all that stuff. Is that, or there's this, I actually take this thing called Magic Mind, not to be confused with Magic Mike, okay? So, okay. But so it literally has all the mushrooms and all that, and it has matcha. I'd actually I want you to look it up and tell me if the matcha there is real.
Okay.
It's called Magic Mind, and
check it out.
I'm part of I buy into all that stuff because I think, oh, it's gonna make me more focused. It's gonna give me less stress. It's going to make me feel my mood's gonna be better, right? So I'm definitely a fanboy when it comes to things making you feel more focused, and your mood is going to change, especially as you get older and all the stress that we go through, right?
Right. Yeah, but it's amazing just how psychoactive so many plants are and stuff. Well, just not just psychoactive, but like how in nature there's just like so many things that can help us out without needing a bunch of pharmaceuticals and stuff. But like coffee, matcha, cannabis.
Yeah. Well, if as a teacher, if you, I guess in California, if you smoke cannabis as a teacher, is that because it's a profession? It's like do they do drug tests at schools?
No, there would be no teachers.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Oh,
no.
man.
Most of the teachers I know didn't. They would. Wine was the main one, I think, to help the teachers out.
Well, especially in Santa Barbara. But you know, it's funny you're saying that, because in trucking, even though it's legal in California, it's a federal, it's still regulated by the federal government. So
Totally.
someone, even if it's legal in our state, a driver has to, you know, even if they're in California, driving in California, not going state lines, they still can't do marijuana or anything that has to do with marijuana products. So even CBD, if there's a little trace of it, they'll lose their license,
wow, really?
or they'll have to go.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
That's too bad.
It is.
CBD is great.
So I'm actually, Blake, I'm gonna tell them to be teachers, driver teachers. Don't drive, teach how to
driver's
drive.
ed.
Yeah. You know, it's if you want to get into CBD.
You can start a trucking school.
Yeah, I know. I since all of them have been shut down, or a lot of them have been shut down due to malpractice.
Oh, really?
Guys, yeah. I mean, if you Google all the problems in trucking, you'll see. You're gonna be like, it's pretty wild that you're driving next to a lot of them. So, yeah. But dude, I just wanted to get back to like the business part of it, right? Like, because now you're obviously you're doing well to have to be in your, you know, I don't know what your dreams are, right? Like, I don't know how big you want this to be, but it seems like you're very into other, you know, you're in the health aspect of this, not only because you just named the radiola, right? Like you care about what you put out there. So having this, you know, growing your business, you have this new employee. What are the next moves? Are you going to try to get these into natural product stores like the Erewhons, the Whole Foods, the Sprouts, Mothers?
Totally. So after I get these next few markets, next step is Amazon, and then I'll probably shoot for Erewhon. I'm at Montecito Natural Health, so I'm in like one small store, but yeah, a lot of the small independent stores are kind of getting shut down. Like there's so many, it's like there's not a lot of little independent ones anymore. And the bigger ones are harder to get into, but I've heard Erewhon is, if any Erewhon's listening, come, look out, watch for me.
Blake, hold on. Let me stop you there. I got you. I'm gonna hook you. I'm gonna actually connect you to. I don't know if you saw the Yobi.
Yeah, I did.
Guy,
I saw that one.
Hawkins. Yeah, I will connect you with him, and you know, I know he's gonna say, dude, it's gonna be easy to get in, bro.
Nice.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's a good dude.
Yeah. I'd like to meet him. He seemed like a fun guy. But then the thing with getting into wholesale is like you have to sell it for half as much, right? So you have to do more work to make the same amount of money, I guess. Unless you get. So I'm still trying to figure out how well it sells just off the shelf, because it's a premium product. I think maybe if I have some smaller jars, they might. It's not like an impulse buy. It's not like a $5 thing. Like, oh, I'm just gonna try this bag of chips that I've never tried before. But it's like if you're investing $80 in something and you don't know how it tastes, like when I do the samples, people are like, oh my gosh, this is the best matcha I've ever had, and like I'll totally buy it. But like are you just gonna take that chance just off of reading the label? I'm not sure. I'm gonna figure it out.
Well, here's the this right here, this is a 8 ounces, right? How much
Correct.
is this?
That is $79.99.
Okay, so that's the $80 that you were talking about. So when you're at the farmer's market and it's 79, this isn't going to be Shark Tank where I'm going to ask you what is your landed cost, right? Like I just want to know. You're right. You brought up something that's really important. When this is on the shelf and they see ceremonial next to it, right? For example, if I'm at Whole Foods, Sprouts, or Erewhon, I'm looking. I shop at Erewhon quite a bit, so I'm always looking. I'm like, dude, what? I can't believe honey's $130, and then I look at the next one next to it, and it's $79, and then I look at another one, and it's like $40, right? So it hits every price point. And you're right. As a consumer, you're not going to look at it and go, "Oh, why is this one $80, and why is this one $40 or $130?" don't you want, I mean, I think you would have to do it way before it gets into the stores, because I think your package that you sent me, that looks like it's built for an online type of business. Or is that something you're pushing? Because once you have it online, I feel like, why would you want to go to the store and have to explain yourself next to the $80 guy and the $40 ceremonial matcha when yours is on a completely different category of matcha?
Yeah, so like I mean the goal would be like mostly direct to consumer. I mean that is like the dream if I could make it work like just, but I don't have like the marketing budget of like say AG1 or Mudwater or something like that yet, but hopefully, yeah, we'll get there.
There's this guy that I met. I don't know if are you on LinkedIn, or what's your social that you are on?
That's a good question. Personally, I don't really do social. I need to. Actually, my first employee that I just hired, she is going to be helping me out with social media because, yeah, in 2020, like when COVID was popping up, I grew up in Bakersfield. Yeah, and Bakersfield is a pretty racist place, and there was a lot of racist people saying stupid stuff, and like I just don't like that's one of my big pet peeves. So I would have to police other people, which takes a lot of time and energy. So I was like, I'm gonna be done with social media, and my life has been happier because of it. But now that I have a business, I got to do social media, so so I hired somebody. But Instagram and is going to be the main one. Instagram and Facebook.
How about TikTok? Is TikTok even on your radar?
Yeah. So I just hired this person. We're just going to start with those two, the meta ones, and then definitely try to get on TikTok. The product, since it is premium, I mean, it's more for adults than kids, but I hear that even like adults are like on TikTok a lot too. So, but I heard originally it was like the kids, but now like everybody's on it, right?
It's wild. Like I thought it was only for kids dancing, but I realized that there's a lot of trucking news that you could get on the, it's because everything is in, I think the media today is like content media where you don't have to have a gazillion followers anymore. And I got this from Gary Vee, right? And Gary Vee would tell you, Blake, you don't need a big budget. You have the internet, right? Yeah. Like he'll say something like that. And so he's like, and you don't have to have a gazillion followers. Everything is content media. So content media is that you go out and it's all about engagement. So if someone were to, even if it's good or bad, like, wow, why is this $80? At least you get to engage with them and say, well, let me tell you about ceremonial and Ultimacha, right? Like you could literally engage with them. And so that's why I was thinking, and the reason why I brought that up was because there's this one guy that I think is really cool on LinkedIn, but he's on other socials, but he caught my attention because I like new CPG brands. His name is Jake Carls. This guy's dancing around. All he does is sell these things called day squares, right? They're like little squares that have like peanut butter and dark chocolate. It's actually really good. And I would have never picked it up if he wasn't dancing in all these videos. I'm like, dude, what is this? And of course, you don't have to do that. It's you don't look like a dancing guy, but you could maybe play a guitar or a song about Ultimacha. But I was thinking about it and going, wow, that's awesome. And his brand, he's everywhere. So, I mean, that is like advertising today. I just feel like you could come up with anything today. And as long as you had this awesome marketing brand, I don't think the cost would be, people would look past the cost. I mean, have you been on Erewhon?
Yeah.
Like, okay, like get all the things you would normally get at a grocery store and put it in your cart and go buy it. And then you'll be like, whoa, I just paid like twice as much.
Totally.
But you got really good stuff, right? It's the same thing, but not the same brands. You're not going to find the same brands at some. But like what I like it for is when I go to the hot bar. That's so good. I mean, I could get the same meal. How much is a Happy Meal today? $15 or something?
Dude, like probably.
I could get a meal there for that much. as long as I don't let the person just keep adding on because it's by weight. Like, yo, stop it right there. But yeah, I mean, I think that's why social media, I think, with the way if that's the way you want to go, right? I don't know how big you want to go, but if you're doing well at the farmers markets, what it sounds like you are, is that, and there's some people that are just happy at the farmers markets. Is that something that you want to?
No, I mean, the goal,
Right.
like I said, yeah, is to do direct to consumer and then honestly, phase out the markets. I mean, it's like the markets originally for me were like proof of concept, right? It's like, will people actually buy it? Do they like it? And then also using it for social proof. So getting
Mm-hmm.
like reviews and like people, and now I've got subscription on the website and people are subscribing and um, yeah, it's just kind of like a testing bed, and then like getting feedback. So like right now, I've had quite a few people. I do add a little teeny tiny bit of stevia extract to it, um, but it doesn't make it sweet. It just kind of softens. I actually add a little bit of salt to it too, just so like when you have Ultimacha without like when I was in the classroom, like I didn't always have an oat milk around or anything, so just like with water, it's just still really nice, super smooth. But some people are hypersensitive to stevia, I've found. And even though it's like barely there, like they're like, oh my gosh, I can like taste it. It's kind of like maybe like the cilantro thing, like how some people are just like totally like turned off by cilantro. But
Or
so I'm
black
actually,
pepper?
yeah. And so I'm using that feedback I'm gonna probably maybe mix it up, maybe switch out the stevia for like a monk fruit, or there's another sweet protein called Oobly. It's a newer product, um, but they're not natural sweeteners that are low calorie. But so yeah, just getting feedback, and and it's super fun. Like I really like talking to people. I like and the validation is pretty good too. I'm not gonna lie. Like when somebody tries it and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is the best matcha ever." It's like that feels good, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, no one knows this, but Jeremy is, a really good friend of mine. He found you at the Malibu farmers market, and he told me, and I was surprised because I was like, I've known him since I was 16. We're in our late 40s. I'm 48,
Mhm.
and he's going to be 47. And I said, bro, you never drink matcha, right? Like, and that's why I was weirded out that he goes, dude, you got to try it. And I said, okay, cool,
Nice.
but I didn't. I'm so glad you sent me this, by the way, and
Oh
and
yeah.
I and you got to make a profile on LinkedIn so I could tag you because I will do like I mean I don't really do
Yeah.
product reviews, but since I like certain brands, like I always highlight brands that I actually consume. Like I take
Hmm.
pictures of my
Yeah.
refrigerator and I take pictures of my meals and I post them because I want people to know like this is what I feed myself. Like yeah, sometimes I'll just open up a product here and I'll do a review just for you, tag you so that people, maybe out of curiosity, they're like, dude, I want to
Yeah.
go direct to consumer. I want to know what an $80 matcha tastes like because times it by the 10 times you go to Starbucks and you have $80 worth
Y-
of sugar shit in your body versus something this like, this good.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And it's like, and it's $80, but also it's like it's only 250 a serving, right? Which is a fraction of what you're paying if you
Yeah.
go to Starbucks, and it's much better and healthier. And so yeah.
So how many servings are in this 8 ounce? Because I don't do
That
math
is
that good.
32. So it's a 1 month supply. So if you have it every
Wow.
day, yeah, it'll last you a month. And like another
And
thing
you
is like a lot of times like matcha comes in like small tins with like 30 grams, 30 or 40 grams of matcha in it, and that has 64 grams of matcha in it. So it's like almost twice as much as like your regular little tin of matcha. And and yeah, and so like and matcha, like we were talking about before, like the stuff from China, like the cheap matcha on Amazon is going to be like 25 cents a gram around. Like the better, like the decent ones are like around $1 a gram, and like you can get to the very boutique, like $2, $3 a gram for matcha. Um, and so with like 60 grams, like I would say mine's in the ballpark of like $1 to like 150 a gram. So if you're getting like 60, sorry, that probably boring people with so many numbers.
No worries.
But like with 60 grams at $1 a gram, I mean that's like $60 right there, and then you get all that other good stuff in it. But
Heck yeah. No, I mean, since we're talking about the economics and the unit economics here, I'm going to get to this question, which I've been wanting to ask. At what point did this thing start to make sense for you versus like, okay, logically, does this make sense? Or in my gut, like, oh, this is just maybe a hobby.
Yeah. I mean, really, finding suppliers was a really eye-opening experience. Well, one, you get access to a bunch of like ingredients that like you just can't get, like when you're buying, and then also, yeah, just being able to see like there's like 12 different grades of matcha. Like I didn't know like there was like 12 different grades of matcha, and so it was really cool. And then like, but once started working the numbers and like it, yeah, it's just, I mean, I'm good with the numbers, so I can figure it out, and seemed like it would make sense. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
that's
Yeah,
workable.
and be real with me. Is there a time where you're like, maybe I'll just make this for myself?
Okay, well, when the tariffs
Okay, yeah.
happened, I was
Wow.
well, actually, a couple things. So, when last April, I had my first booth. It was at Santa Barbara Earth Day, which Earth Day actually started in Santa Barbara, if you didn't know. But
Nice.
I almost sold out in the first day. It's like a 2-day thing. Like I sold way more than I thought I was going to. I was super happy, super stoked. But like I sold out, right? And I was like, oh shoot, now I need to re-up. And this was when last year there was a matcha shortage. So my supplier, so I was like, I hit up my supplier and I was like, all right, I'm ready. I'm like, give me a whole bunch. And they're like, oh, uh, we can't sell to you anymore because like we just don't have that much, and like you're one of our newer accounts, and we got to like keep our older accounts happy and stuff. And I was just like,
Wow.
what? And like, because I was getting really good matcha, and it's like, where am I gonna find matcha like this good? And so I actually had to take a break for like 4 months while I found a new supplier, um trying a whole bunch of different matchas, and just having to find another supplier was a really eye opener. And now I'm like looking. Now I still just have like one supplier, so I got to like find a backup supplier just in case. But and then what were we talking about?
Well, no, I mean, talk about social proof, right? Like, is there a point where you always wanted to just say, forget it, I'm just going to make this for myself? But you had this, you said you sold out in 2 days. I mean, man,
Oh
talk about
yes.
social proof. Like, and you felt like, I guess you got really high from that, and you're like, I want to go buy more, right? And
Yeah,
you,
well, and so like, yeah, like finding the supplier, that was one thing, and then also, and I was like, oh crap, like if I can't find another supplier, like this is just gonna be like if I don't have matcha, if I can't find a good matcha, then like what am I gonna do, right? And then another time that I was thought about if like the numbers would work was like after the tariffs hit, and like if my main product goes up like 30%, like that's like my number one ingredient. Matcha's like my number one ingredient, right? And so that would definitely have, like, if those stuck around and were that high. I mean, Japan was never super high. Well, at the very beginning it was. I mean, it was, who knows what it was or is. But that was a point where like if it did go up and it stayed up, like the numbers wouldn't have worked
wow.
unless I wanted to charge like 100 over $100 a jar. But no.
No, that's crazy that you said that, Blake, because I'm thinking about trucking, right? Our main ingredient is fuel. That's the only way we're going to get our trucks from point A to
Oh
point B.
snap!
And like
Yeah, right
you
now.
just said about like you said Japan where you get yours, right? But we probably get, I mean, like, look, we attacked Iran and now our fuel prices are up. Like mine has gone
Oh,
almost like double on a weekly basis what the prices are. And being in
totally.
this part of the side of the United States, the West Coast, it's the most expensive place to run a trucking company. And so, yeah, I'm actually going through that right now. So don't, so I know exactly what you're going through about,
All right.
oh, wow, it's gone up, 30%. Does will the economics work here? Can I hold on to cash flow? So I hope we don't attack Japan, so you could still have this Ultimacha.
Right.
But
Right.
let's go back to the grind, the farmers market grind, because it's so interesting to me. Because there was Curtis was also on my pod. He's also going through what you're going through. Maybe I could connect you guys as well, just to experience share, right? I mean, it's always great to have peer-to-peer, founders that are going through the same, even if you're not. And what's great is you guys are not you're not in competition with each other. You're not doing the same thing. And so he said something about the farmers market that I always thought was really cool, where he said the money is at the farmers markets. And you said it earlier in this conversation that you're going to have to do twice as much work for the same amount of money. Is it, I don't know, does it become worth it to be on the shelf? Because you're better off at the farmers market, or the way you want to do this is D2C, right? Which is amazing, but that's a lot of marketing. Obviously they know it's good. Like, I can't wait to try this right now. I mean, it's what, 2-3 o'clock, and I'm like, oh man, I love matcha. I can't wait. But I'm gonna look out for the sweetness now that you told me all the ingredients. I'm gonna be like, but going back to that, you're grinding it at the farmer's market. And so, like, this is something that I want to know is, like, can you continue that grind if it doesn't work out with D2C or the shelf, right? Like, what's the game plan here?
I mean, no. I'm not. I can't. Yeah, it's doing it by myself. The markets I wouldn't have any time to work on the business, right? And like, it's like, have you read the E-Myth?
Oh yeah, I have it.
So it's like
E-Myth Revisited.
Yeah. Totally. So it's like you can't be like stuck working in your business. You need to be working on your business, right?
Smart.
So it's like right now I'm grinding. I'm like working in the business, but yeah, like I said, I'm going to start hiring some people so I can take it to the next level.
Yeah, we all have dreams, Blake. Actually heard this on the Peloton bike. The teacher was, or the instructor was saying, everyone has a dream, but you can't go as high as your dream. You can only go as high as your team. I was like, dude, it's awesome. And we're on a Peloton bike, right? But I always catch on to little like things like that. Like, I actually pay attention and go, wow, that was really interesting. Because that's true. I have never, you do things on your own and you get there and you're like, why am I not hitting my dreams? And as soon as I start getting employees, I'm like, oh, wow, look at this. I'm not doing as much work, and I'm able to think about this opportunity and pursue that opportunity, pursue that path, go network, do this, do that, because you have a team now. So yeah, you get closer to that dream of yours and how high you want to go because you have the team. So you're doing it right. I like that you're thinking with that mindset. And I mean, you are a teacher, so you've got to be pretty smart to do that. Or just be really loving the impact that you make for others. But so what have you learned from all of this? What did you expect that you're, with this so far? I know you're early on your path here, but what did you like? Is everything you've expected? And what did you learn?
Yeah, I mean, to go back to the team thing, like, I have learned that, I mean, especially like CPG bootstrap, I mean, definitely you can't do it by yourself. Like, in the kitchen, like, we're putting labels on, like, my wife, like, without like my wife's help, like, in the kitchen, like, and when I say kitchen, I'm not talking my kitchen. We actually make it at Santa Barbara Middle School. Since it's an FDA registered facility and
Wow.
stuff like that. So when we're in the kitchen, we're mixing, we're labeling, we're doing all the stuff. And like, if I had to do that by myself, it would take twice as long. And now that I'm getting help with social media, it's like, it's basically just back to what you were saying. Like, totally, the team is crucial. Finally hiring an accountant too. Don't ask me about my books. Smart and like, accounting's not not one of my best
Yeah, I hate my
things.
meetings with my accountant, my bookkeeper. Yeah, I think a lot of entrepreneurs, we just want to go and run, right? Like we just go, 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 go. We'll worry about it later. But I do advise people the first thing you want to do when you start to make money is make sure you get a good accountant. I mean, it's it's the
Right.
first thing that you should go do. And then you're already doing it. You're getting an employee to free you up here, and then you're networking, right? Like I actually want to help you with these label, like a label company, or like even just anything that you need a co-packer or whatever it might be, because I'm I love the CPG space, right? Even if I don't get anything out of
Nice.
it, if I could connect you to whoever I can and say, you know, Blake, go get this thing so you could be a self-made millionaire or whatever, right? Like I'm gonna help you because I know what it's like, right? It's so hard. So I can't wait to, after this call, you're going to get a text from me. I mean, after this pod recording, you're going to get a text from me and say, hey, you need to connect with this person for labels. You need to
Nice.
connect with this person for PR. I'm in that,
Nice. Awesome.
in that circle. So I just
Yeah.
want to, I want to help you in any way I can to bring this to market. Like you said, it makes you feel good when someone goes, that's the best matcha. And
Yeah.
yeah, I can't wait to taste it.
Appreciate that, Tristan. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I wanted to read something here. And this was so nice of you, right? Like you sent this and you sent this to me. Okay. I've been in sales for 22 years and even before that, but I'm going to read this. You said, hey, Tristan, thanks for the opportunity to be on your show. I'm excited and nervous, but it was great talking with you and I'm sure it will be a good time. I hope you enjoy the Ultimacha. Much respect, Blake. You wrote this and I just thought, wow, that's so cool. But more importantly, I wanted to ask you something that I was like, okay, was it that bad? I mean, were you nervous at all?
Oh no, no, it's no, it's totally fine. Like I was saying, like
It's easy.
when we talked, it was yeah. You're a very friendly, nice guy, so it makes it very easy for sure.
No, but I really like that you sent out a letter and that was very kind of you and I appreciate it and
Well,
I can't wait to see you do good things.
thanks. Well, I really appreciate you having me on the show. Like I see I've like all of your other guests, and they're like much more accomplished than I am. So I mean, it's very cool. I appreciate you giving me a little help out.
No worries, Blake, but I just want to let you know it doesn't matter where they're at, it's where you're going, right? So like
Right.
I always tell myself the same thing, like how do I belong in this room or how would I fit in this room when in all reality we're all doing the same things. I mean, some of our dreams are just bigger. And so it doesn't matter where they're at, your dream might be different than theirs. So I don't like you should just compare teacher Blake that was sitting there not I don't know if you enjoyed your job, so I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'm saying you had this itch that you had to go for it and you're doing it. So that's a way better Blake. I mean, if you talk to Blake, the 80-year-old Blake, you want that person to say, I'm so glad you didn't stay in a job or in a place that you were unhappy. You were building something,
Totally.
right? So let's
Totally.
leave with this. Where would people find you? Where do you, other than the farm, they name the farmers markets, name the
Totally.
social, handle.
Yeah, so we're ultimacha.com, at Ultimacha. You can find us at San Luis Obispo Farmers Market, at the Malibu Farmers Market. We're going to soon be at the Agora Hills and Sherman Oaks. Also the Beachside Babes makers markets in Santa Barbara. Website
Yeah.
ultimacha.com.
Okay.
Ultimacha.com, jovialgoods.com. The business is Jovial Goods, but products Ultimacha. Jovial Goods sounds a bit too much like Jovial Foods, so I might have to change that. I haven't gotten a cease or desist yet or anything, but Ultimacha.
Yeah, no, I love it though because it's I think you've set it up pretty well where you have the business Jovial, and then you're gonna come out with this new I forgot what it's called, Rhodiola.
Rhodiola,
And then you're gonna come out with women's products, and then we can't wait for all the
Right.
things that you come up with because you're an entrepreneur now.
Totally.
Well, thanks, Blake.
Thank you, Tristan. Appreciate it.
Thank you.